First visitor, always the one to tell me that my mic is muted. Hi, how you doing? Yeah. I am trying to figure out what to actually do tonight. And I have many problems that I need to solve, so maybe you can help with that. But first, I decorated. I put panels over all of my exposed cables. And I decided to leave them specifically raised up to give it a little bit more of a feel to it. I added more cables to my large cable chunk that I ran, including covers. I covered all of these because they look neat. And I covered those because they look neat. Now they look more intentional rather than haphazardly spamming two buildings together. And I covered up there, and I covered over there. The only thing I have not done yet is put a cover over this thing, which I will be probably doing shortly. I decided to leave my pipe exposed and just covered it to make it look neater. This is kind of a temporary solution until I figure out something that looks a little bit better. Because I needed water, and I didn't want to set up a new pump. Because what ended up happening is I've sped up my farm a little bit. Rather than building new farms, I just sped this up. So now the drum is on every 10 seconds, which is great. And I have the entire ceiling full of sprinklers. So 10 seconds is barely even enough to do that. So yeah, it's barely worth looking down here. I know, right? It's like holy particles, Batman. So my sprinklers completely tapped out my previous pump system that I had up here. Like it actually ate the rest of the source blocks and it just stopped functioning. So that needed to go. And I debated on setting up another pump here, and I was going to use the mechanism pump, but that requires energy, which I didn't have any energy run over here. So while I was running energy over here, I thought, hey, why not? I'll run water too. And then I didn't need the pump, so now I don't need the energy, now that I've run it. So it's here in case I do end up needing it. But yeah, I did a bit of sprucing the place up just a little bit. And I decorated. It's pretty. Okay, enough of that. So quests, yes, you are right, quests. But to do said quests, so I did more stuff too. I got void metal, and I have gone quite insane because I gathered all of the various forbidden knowledges that I could think of that I wanted. And I have my Eldritch tab now. I had my epiphany. I had a glitch, which is good that it happened off screen, because the entire screen went completely solidly black to the point where I couldn't even get into the menu, and I had to research on how to fix that. So that would not have been good to happen on a live stream. So we've got Mass Essentia storage, which would be handy, but it is fairly expensive to make. Still have a bunch of stuff that isn't known yet. But I'm thinking the first thing I want to tackle is, since that drum is going overboard, I think I want to replace it with golems so that it's not quite so loud and obnoxious. Because it is loud and obnoxious. But I am at a standpoint, or a standstill, of where to get my various things from. Humanus only comes from a couple different sources. And that is player heads, which I would have to make more of, which are rather expensive. flesh, which comes with the added bonus of the meat aspect, which I don't know what to do with. So, or I could do mandrake root and have an excess of herba in case I wanted to use that for the lantern of growth. So that's also a possibility. Me. I don't. What is the flesh aspect called? It's not meatus or something like that. It's I don't know. Oh, aspect. Right. Corpus. There we go. The meat aspect, which is in a lot of things. And unfortunately, there isn't enough Thaumcraft integration to tell me what I can craft with it. So I have no idea what it would be used for, so I would just have a bunch of it extra sitting around taking up space, not knowing what to do with it. So I'm not too shut up on that idea. So I'm kind of thinking the mandrake route. Mandrake root route. Mandrake root route, yes. No, so this is R, and this is U, and the U only tells me what items contain it, so it's not quite the U that we were used to seeing. So there's it's also interacted with a left click and a right click. R and U is left click and right click. So I still don't have information on what I can craft with it. Spiritus. Spiritus, I do have more options to get it from. But that's what I was thinking of Playerhead, because Playerhead gives me Humanus and Spiritus at the same time, but it's also really expensive to make those things, so I might just have to get my Spiritus through a different method. Hopefully a different method that I have. The hell? When did I ever scan a Sword of a Fallen Warrior? That one. I guess a skull? I guess? I don't really need a lot of these aspects at the moment until I do need them, and then I'm kicking myself for not getting them. But this kind of goes back to, like, I need a better Essentia system. Like, a bunch of manually placed jars is not cutting it for me. So I don't know how to tackle that problem. Because, as I said, I absolutely hate Essentia transportation, so I don't really know... I don't know how to do it efficiently. Yeah. But then, what do you do with the excess? You know, where does all the excess Essentia go? Like, I've got more Arum and more Herba than I know what to do with. So where does the excess go? I mean, I could crystallize it, but the crystallizers just take so bloody long, and the suction that they have is weird. So I don't know how to use it efficiently. And I don't even know if golems can interact with the essential crystallizers. So that's another thing to consider. And also the range on golems is not such that I could leave these here. I could put them like on this wall or something. Or I could move my distiller over to here. Either way. Can the crystallizer just pull straight from a jar? That's kind of interesting. Because I was having a problem where these crystallizers were like right here. and I would put a jar underneath, and it would randomly fill the jar or the crystallizers. Like, they seem to have the same suction. What is this efficient way to keep aspects in stock? And I have entertained the idea of putting Thaumic Energistics into this. Because, yeah. I have entertained that idea. Because I have seen systems where they've got, you know, buffers the entire length of their entire system. And then they've got, you know, a couple jars of each, and then at the very end they've got 2 of the reservoirs. The hell are they called? Yeah, reservoir. They've got 2 of those, and then next to them they've got crystallizers to crystallize all the excess. So yeah. So the buffer system, I sort of get. The only real way to tackle it is by labels. Yes, not warded. Label jars. And have a buffer on top of each one. As the Essentia passes through the buffer chain, it will fill whichever first one it has access to. But if that's full, like if that's 64, it'll move on to the next buffer, where if this is your only arbor, it's gonna just keep moving down the line until it gets to the end of your line, and it's gonna stop. So if you don't have something at the end of that buffer system to tackle your overflow, it's done. So the only 2 ways that I know of to tackle that are void jars, which just delete everything extra, which I absolutely hate doing, especially considering how much it's a pain to get some of these things, or have like a series of crystallizers at the end. But they're so slow, and the only way to speed them up I'm aware of is through the V-Relays system with nodes. So, I mean, I'm at a stopping point in like 3 different directions. I need nodes energized with the V-Relay system. I need, you know, something for Essentia, whether it be golems or whatever, but even golems will stop up if the system's overflowed, so there's definitely a limitation there. And I forgot what the third one is, so maybe it's only 2. Essentia transportation and V-Relay system. That's really the 2 primary things here. And this kind of sort of tells you about it. What if you could energize it, blah, blah, blah. Need to stabilize a node first, and that prevents it from interacting with other nodes nearby. So that's another thing, is that there are nodes, rather there's a mechanic with nodes where they will consume other nearby nodes, and it's called node bullying. But getting it to work the way you want it to work is tricky and very slow. So I don't really like that method. I prefer kind of the hungry node feeding method, I guess. But yeah, you're right, I could do a throwaway node. Do I even have a node remembered that has most of the aspects? This is probably one of my closest. And then I could pick up an Ordo and Terra, I guess, on top of that. This is the other thing I noticed. I have every single node with Purd on it for the most part. Like, damn near every node has Perditio. And it's absolutely crazy. I think, yeah, these are the only two that do not have Perditio on it. And I know that's related to the biome. Because the biome is this dead world, so obviously Purd is going to be prevalent in a dead world. But still, it is a crazy amount of Perditio. Okay, so that's enough of that. So yeah, I guess I could try that. What are my nodes here? Air, Aqua, Ordo, Purd. Ah, screw it. Let's test it with this one. So I need a stabilizer and transducer, I suspect. Okay, so it seems like you can't reverse it once it's started, so this is definitely a good test node. It's pale, it's junky, it's an 8, so the square root of that would be something like 2 point something. Oh, it's just 2. What the hell am I talking about? Unable to move node once energized. And that's where the relays come in, okay. Where do we do this? It's not like the node is going to be hazardous in any way. Famous last words, I suspect. Sure. Here. So if I put that there and release it, it will be stabilized. Right, need a wand to release it. There. Stabilized. Shiny ball thing. Now, how do I make it go? Do I wand it? Does it need a bigger wand? Redstone signal, okay. Yeah, that's why people usually have a redstone block, okay. Because I've seen these with redstone blocks on top before. It just never really dawned on me that was the reason for it. Okay. And that typically just goes right on top. So does the top doesn't need to be accessed for any other reason, like the relay going on top or anything like that? It's doing a thing. Okay, so it sucks it all dry and then it converts it. And it said that that's a process, so it takes a while. Good to know, because I already did it. Keep both active, blah, blah, blah. It says something about keeping the stabilizer active, but the stabilizer didn't have a deactivated state that I could tell. Like, it was automatically active by putting it down. I heard a noise, and I'm assuming that's the node stabilizer doing its thing. Okay, so now they produce Centipede. Just place relays near the energized node. Okay, so the relays will do their thing. Now, one thing I forgot to check is if my test node will be passable for my crystallizers. So my test node has Aqua, Ordo, Air, Purd. Oh, looks like it's done, actually, because those are the rooted numbers. Okay. So my crystallizer... probably requires one of those that I don't have. Terra, of course. Fair enough. So let's see. Now, you said that there can only be one node on a network. So that means if you're going to land on a node, you really need, like, a really good node that has all of the aspects on it to cover all of your needs. Like, for example, the focal manipulator needed, I think, every aspect to manipulate what I was trying to do. So, I guess. Shiny. I've never actually stabilized a node before, now that I think about it. Because I've always gotten to this point and I'm like, deer in the headlights, and I end up stopping completely. And never end up doing it. So, yay, I guess? That is true. So if I go find an Earth one... Now that's the other thing, is I wanted to make some warded glass. Because I wanted to do a perfect transfer. So that's this. Oh, that stuff's actually kind of expensive to make. I mean, relatively speaking. Okay. Well, so Cheaty transfer, I'm planning on using the blood magic trans whatchamacallit. Hey, Satin Dude guy, how you doing? Thanks for the follow. So yeah, I do intend to do that, but I don't think I have the means to at the moment. I'm not positive, actually. I know I've got the items from whatever, those things that are in the world. They're right here, but I don't know if I have the means to use it otherwise. Like, does it need anything else? I think you've got the block item that goes directly under what you want to move, and then you also need the items that tell them how to link. And that is, what is it called again? I vaguely remember what they look like. And by vaguely, I mean apparently not, because I'm not seeing them at a glance here. There we go. The teleposition focus. So those are tier 4 altar. So unless there are teleposition focuses in those places, which I can always go check. Let's see, the closest blood teleposer. Actually, let's just do distance, and the closest blood teleposer is here. So let's go break that thing down and go grab it. You know what? I might end up doing this. So, do I have... I didn't grab glass, did I? I think I put it back in the network when I was spacing. So let's make the warded glass quick here. I can just put that there. And then I want dirt. Yeah, let's do cobble. That's not cobble at all. What am I doing? And then just in case something crazy happens over there. Because yeah, this would definitely be the answer to having to use the warded glass. I wanted the warded glass anyway because I do want a wither cage, so I don't have to keep running so far to fight him. Okay. So let's put on a magnet. Probably could try to fill in some of that lava. I don't know how far down that goes, actually. It's concerning that it says that I can replace the lava blocks. Like, how do those end up in my inventory? What's up, dude? Yes, yes. Growly, growly, groan, groan. I just realized that I have a really slow pick, and I never made my favorite alternative. Why is that? I will do that on my next round back. No, there is no focus in the teleposer. So that is unfortunate. Hey! That's why they were coming from, okay. Yeah, my favorite alternative. My favorite pick alternative ever. Oh, that was kind of weird. That's funny. So that actually goes down quite a ways then. Interesting. Okay, so it highlights like I can right-click to replace them, but it doesn't actually work. Okay. Oh. Or I don't have any cobble to test it with. What do you do? Nothing. Okay. Got it. Kind of want the rest of those obsidian tiles. I'm gonna have to come back with some sand, I suppose, to put all that lava away. Okay. Home is roughly this direction. I don't have my thingy up. There we go, I can see my particles. So let's make my favorite alternative, shall we? Oh, I've got plenty. Let's see if I even have all the stuff ready to go. Atomic disassembler. I have everything except for the refined obsidian and the tablet. Done. Okay. Make me one of these. probably teach the network how to make this while I'm at it. But then again, I never taught the network how to make the compressed glowstone either, because I saw no need for it, so whatevs. Atomic disassembler. And then where is my energy that I can fill it up? Where are you, cubes? Can I even access the cubes? There we go. Gimme. What did you miss? I know you've seen these before. These are my metal processing stations. And then this is for titanium. And this is for bronze. Both using the same methodology. And then this is just... my power has moved slightly. Like, these used to be on the floor in a line rather than double stacked. Maybe it is just you. I don't know what you're seeing, but yeah, you've seen all of this, I'm pretty sure. It just looks really impressive, so I'll take that as a compliment, because you were very impressed when you first saw it. You're like, holy crap, that's amazing. I'll take it. But yeah, I like the look of these things, honestly. I really do. They really spruced up the place. Very, very minor touch, but they did. I don't know if I like that one. That one, I could take it or leave it. But yeah, this is my favorite pick alternative, and in fact, I'm going to put my pick back in the network because I no longer need that. And the only thing I do need is this for the silk touch. I can get rid of my shovel. I already put most of my other tools away. Actually, let's put you on the hangy rack. You can go in the hangy rack. There. All of my various tools. Whether or not I still need to use them is a totally different matter. Alright. You can all go in the network. The teleposer can go in the network as well until I'm ready to use it. Because I do need that... I need that 4th tier altar to use it, because I need to make the focus. So, that's going to be a process. I still have not planned out where I want it in the basement yet, so that's a concern. By the way, if you haven't seen this tool, it's amazing. Look at how big this thing is. I love it. It's gaudy. It's a nice model, it really is. It's just, it doesn't quite fit with the rest of Minecraft. Just because it's got so many smooth lines. That's a strange thing. And it looks so high-tech and new age compared to everything else that's in Minecraft. So, right. Yes, I mean, everything Draconic looks like it's out of place because it's like all of its models are highly detailed in comparison to everything else. So yeah, that's definitely another comparison. And, you know, to be fair, a lot of Thaumcraft stuff is also very highly detailed too, so. Wendigo, what'd you do? How dare you, sir? You did a thing. All of its glory. It's amazing. Where did that go? There it is. So you, and then you can go back to my number 2. And that bot was fast. I didn't even get a chance to see it, and it's not in any of my chat logs. Alright. So, what's the plan? Bart? Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't follow me. Bart doesn't follow me. Also, they have families, so they're like, you know, doing family things when they're not streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I know, it's weird. Bart's only been in to visit me like once or twice. He is not. He takes his toys and he goes off and does his own thing, and then we find out about it later. Is it Monday? Yes, it's Monday. There we go. I had to check myself. Tuesdays and Thursdays, yes. So, Monday, or the rest of the week, Blade does his own thing, like every other day. Bart, I don't think I've seen him streaming other than Mondays, or Tuesdays and Thursdays. I know he does other stuff. And I think I've seen him stream like once, something else. But for the most part, he's doing non-streamy stuff. I know he's in some game testing stuff, I think. I don't know all the details, he won't share. The hell was I doing? Oh yes, that's right, I was trying to see if the blood teleposer was going to be an option for me, so it's not yet. Yeah, he doesn't share things with us. So, if I do that, does that need to be on there? Like, is this just for wand charging, or... Also, how do I get that off of there? I put it down, and it doesn't have... Ah, there, okay. There we go. So... Does that work off of the charge relay? Or does it work off of a regular relay? Wendigo, I'm not drunk enough to do this. I am also confused, so don't worry about it. So just particles? Okay. What was I going to do? Oh yes, I was going to try to enhance my shock focus. So, potency. So yeah, it needs everything. So that's not going to cut it just yet. I need a better thingy. So let's cook up something. Anything. Just let's do a thing. I'm gonna move this. Am I gonna move that? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I kind of want to just leave these here. And to do that, I need to have a layer of these things, buffers. So if I replace this top row with buffers and then have it go all the way down this way. So let's make a bunch of buffers. Because I don't know if golems can even navigate this thing very well, because I know that they have some pathing issues. Bye! Either go get more drunk or go get less drunk. One of the two. Either of those will help solve your problems right now. So if I put the charge relay down here, that's too far away. That's too far away. What? Fine. I'll do it the other way. There we go. It's not fast, but it's not too terribly slow. So I definitely need Terra and Ignis. That's pretty. It's so pretty. Okay. Now that that's set up to do things, I think I do want to set up this, but those buffers are just so expensive. And I think I would want to move the cooking system over to here. I think. Just so I don't have so many pipes. Maybe. Because I could also put the cooking system over here and start the cooking this side and have it travel that direction. And then end up over here where they get dumped into some form of storage after they're done crystallizing or whatever. This song is almost too chill. Almost. I wonder if my damage on this is better than my sword too, because if that's the case, then I don't even need to carry my sword on me. Anywho, Civil, tell me what to do. I'm brain deading. I could make the Sinister Node, but that's also ridiculously difficult to make. Also, it's not in here at all, which is very strange. Because this is the recipe to make a Sinister Node in a jar. But yeah. I could do that. I could do that. So if I were to start doing that, I need these. Okay, so I need a lot of blank slates, which means I need a lot of living rock. Luckily, I caught this early, and I knew to make a lot of living rock. And in fact, let's get more cooking while we wait here. I love my automated system. It's amazing. So here's the challenge. Automating the altar early is pain in ass. So I could do... Does it work with hoppers? Like, can I just hop her in and then hop her out? Does that work? No, because the hopper pulls out immediately. Okay, fine. Be that way. So that's going to require filtration, and filtration is a pain. Okay, so another thing I made in anticipation of doing this is the fallen thingy. And I forgot to grab my kniff. Let's go with the other canal. And let's put some of this away. Yes, but the pendant is only regen 2, whereas the Fallen is a regen 3, so it regens a lot faster. Like, a ton faster. Right, empty hand. So if I were to stab the ever-loving hell out of myself, that's regenning almost a full heart per second. Whereas the regen 2 does not do that. And that's why people recommend having the Fallen for the Gaia 2 battle, because it regens you really fast. Like, you can't really cover the entire arena with this, because he breaks them pretty easily. But you could put one like directly under each of these, and you'll have safe corners to hide out in, basically. Because the range isn't very great on this thing. What is the range? That's right. I need this also to see it. Really? There we go. So the range is only 2 block radius. So you still do have to come and hide at these things. That's weird. Whatever. That's weird. I think that might be a different version, honestly. Because, yeah, I remember there was a thing where the mod maker actively tried to prevent any attempts at regeneration. But I know that the Fallen has always been an answer to work around it. I've also seen where you have to have it a distance away. So this apparently isn't that version. I've seen where this doesn't work close enough to the altar, so you do have to like take it a ways away, go stab yourself and then run over, get healed, etc. So maybe I just found the sweet spot, or maybe that's not in this version. Who knows? What do I have that can help with this? I know I've got stuff that can help with this. No extra utilities in this pack. So if I do a logistical transporter, give me cables, give me chests. So how's about this? You go there. That looks weird. You filter item stack, blank slates, and then always? Yeah, okay. So then you chest and logistical transporter, okay. And then you chest. And transporter should not matter. Now here's the trick. Does logistical transporter try to put in more than one? So if I put in one, done. Death Gamer, no spamming. I don't appreciate that. So it does all, and then that blows up everything, because it tries to do them all at once. But maybe I can keep up with this. There is a way with logistical transporter to do a specific number, but I don't think there's a way to tell it to stop while something's in here. Unless the Blood Altar comparator maybe puts out a redstone signal while it's working, perhaps? Either way, I can sit here and do this. This isn't hurting me at all. Gates could work. I wonder if gates have blood magic integration. Worth a shot. All of the stabs. Okay, listening. Okay. Interesting. Arg. Me spine. Me spine suddenly hurts. I wonder how long it actually takes to do a stack of those. Because I do not have the, whatever the advanced diviner sigil is that could tell me how far the progress is. Maybe eventually? Do still need to make this. Oh, right. I took off my flappy wings. I need that. And I need glass. What does the divination sigil actually tell me about this thing? It tells me the current LP. That's awesome. And it tells me my network is maxed out at 5,000. What's the advanced divination ruin? Sigil of Sight, okay. And that probably takes another higher tier orb. Probably Apprentice is the lowest tier orb that it can take. And a whole bucket of blood. I wonder how long that's going to go, or if I've been sitting here wasting my time this entire time here. Let's see if we can get a comparator. Because I want to see if a comparator can do it. It will complete, okay. So, comparator. That's not... it goes this way? Yeah, okay. So, comparator does not put out a signal when it's crafting. And I was just thinking in comparison to the runic altar, which does put out a signal when it is crafting. So yeah, your gate idea is probably going to be the answer. So let's see. Because I could use the gate just to pump items, but I think that would be too slow. Well, I can give it a shot. Let's go with the basic gate, see if that'll do. So basic gate. And I need a wrench to wrench it the opposite direction. Actually, let's put this here. Okay. It's a shame we don't have progress. That's kind of frustrating. So if I need to do a basic gate with Antarctic if I'm going to do that. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. This is what I'm trying to do. Okay. I do have that. This already has Antarctic on it, though, so this might be the better answer. You got Antarctic. Let's see. Okay, so if I do item... Oh, because the Antarctic is going to have to read this one. And I can't tell it which one to read from. So I'd have to space it out. Okay, got it. I need another pipe. Oh, awesome. Hooray! So Antarctic gate has to go here. Basic gate and red wire. So you items in inventory put out a red signal. And you, red signal off, pulse. Okay. So that should set it up so that when this thing doesn't have stuff in it, put stuff in it. That makes sense. Let's try another stack of living rock. Now the other question is this going to just pull out a whole stack at a time? Are you going to pull anything out? Ah, filters. Okay. Blacklist. It's going to pull out quite a bit. So that's not good at all. It pulled out 15? So I mean, it's not great. So at that point then I would want to do what you had mentioned and use the pipe itself just as a redstone checker for a logistical sorter. True, wood might have a better chance. I've got wood. I've got wood. Okay, so then you go away. Wood. Kate. Red. On no signal. Do the pumpy thing. Am I still using ridiculous amounts of mana? No, I turned that off. Okay. So this is going okay. It's not the fastest thing in the world. And Aurum is definitely the primary output of this. It does somewhat have some sort of tiered system, it appears. Because we've got quite a few that are down to 7 and 8, whereas a bunch are in the 12 to 14 range. And then Aurum is 387. A couple of them are in the 20-ish range, but yeah, it's not consistent. Now I do have this. Ruins. Let's just put those in the network. No, I don't want to click on that. Hooray, tier 2 altar. Now, as far as orbs go, Apprentice is next. And that needs me an emerald. Also, I think I just realized why my brain was not quite firing on all cylinders earlier. I accidentally went cold turkey on coffee today, and it's hurting my brain. So let's turn that off for a moment so I can make my orb. I do, actually. It's not massive, and I've had worse, not coffee related. It's also hair in my mouth. But yeah, no, that's part of why my brain wasn't quite firing earlier, because every once in a while it was just like, oh hey, the headache has decided to do a thing right now. Okay, orb me. Yeah. So, ruins. I do not remember which tier these are, like which ones I can use now versus have to wait. Judging in the orbs that are cycling, I need to wait till at least master level. Actually, I don't remember which level's which. I wish they just listed tiers. So, Magicians is next, so tier 3 gets me Magician. I can use Dislocation? No, that's also Apprentice. That's good, because yeah, that was kind of frustrating. Now, let's test out this thing. So you are going to pull out quite a few, actually. Those Autarctics are definitely speedy. That pulled up... Actually, I think that actually pulled more than the Emerald, which is funny. Because I think the reason for that is that the... I know. The Autarctic pulses quickly. So in a wooden transport pipe, the Autarctic is going to pulse quickly and pull a bunch of them. And they're all going to bunch up in here before they hit the gold to move faster. Whereas the Emerald moves the items faster by default. So it was able to pull out fewer of them before they hit here to turn off the pulse. So that makes sense. So... And I would need to do... Okay. So you there. You in my pocket. And then you in my pocket. So you can go here. Gonna need another gate, aren't I? Yes, I am. So let's go get another logistical transporter thingamabobber. Missing piston. And I need another pipe. And I need a gate. So if I do... Oh, I didn't need another pipe or another gate. Okay. I was concerned about the spacing because logistical transporter spacing is kind of janky. Yeah, it finished. Okay. So, logistical transporter. The problem is I can't tell it by default to only give me one item at a time. I have to manually set a filter first. So, manually filter single item, like so. So that's going to be a little bit obnoxious when it comes to automating more of these things. But that's okay for now. Redstone signal on high, on low. That'll be fine. So you are gating, and instead I want a redstone signal when there are items in there. So that should just automatically redstone signal this thing. Hooray! Hooray! You're a genius, Sybil. I know, right? My biggest concern actually was that the redstone signal coming off of this thing wouldn't interact with the logistical sorter. Because I've seen that happen over when I was attempting to automate this mess over here, that the redstone signals that I was putting out were not going where I wanted them to. So that was my biggest concern. Hooray! Okay. So that will be the future plan for automating this entirely. For right now, I don't think I need to, I don't think I need to do tier 2 slates or anything like that. Okay, so I could do, I think speed ruins would be good for my next tier. Although at some point I'm going to want to do capacity ruins because of the upcoming requirements for the orbs. This one, for example, I know is a hurdle because of the 25,000. And the altar only holds 10, so you end up having to fight it pretty hard to get it down. Although with this Fallen, I don't think that's going to be a problem, honestly. Since the Fallen seems to work without me having to do stuff. Alright, so what I want to do is a little bit of automation. I'm going to let that finish. It's going to drain all of my blood, but that's okay. I would like to... I can't easily automate ruins in here, now that I think about it. Because the orb gets returned and needs to be reused, and the way this system uses stuff is kind of janky. But let's see if I can make it. No, I can't. Because there's no way I can make a recipe. So let's do the ruin recipe. So if I did that, and put an orb in there, that's great. That would tell it, hey, it makes a ruin. But then it doesn't know that it can return the ruin. So then it's, if I try to make more than one at a time, it's going to say, hey, dummy, you're missing an orb. The only way around that typically would be to manually set this to tell it that you get the orb back. But these can only be used in external crafting jobs that cannot be used in internal crafting jobs. Really? You think it has a chance? Let's give it a shot. Let's put you right there. And ruin. Make me 10. Holy crap. Holy crap. I'll take it. I'll take it. Alright. So, speed, acceleration. So let's do, let's see, these are tier 2. Botanical slate. Jigga what? Jigga what? Hang on. Hang on, what? hold on. You've lost me. I don't know what's going on anymore. So what does the botanical ruin do? And where can I find more information about arcane arteries? Okay, so that's a Thumbcraft thing. Well, arcane arteries is both Thumbcraft and Botania. So maybe Botanical Ruin has information in the book? No. There's information about the bloodthorn, but not that. And this only has information about the Thaumcraft integration stuff. Huh. Interesting. So do these work as part of the tier? Like this ruined block here, I could make as part of an altar? Because if that's the case, this is a cheaper and easier recipe. Because these things will craft instantly. Weird. But they can't be used to craft any of the second tier ruins like speed or anything like that, so I guess that's a thing to consider. So is tier 2 directly diagonal down from this, or is it out 1? I keep forgetting. See, this seems like it's so much more work to me. Like, you have to make these in an infusion, and you have to make a bunch of thaumium ingots in the alchemy thing, and you have to have all these essences cooked up, and then there's another infusion for this one. Like, there is no way that these two are even remotely on par with each other as far as crafting difficulty is concerned. Like, this is just 2 stone in a pool, instant craft, and then nothing else. I don't get it. That almost seems like an easier option for the tier 2 ruins as well. Yeah, not so much, I guess. Alright. Let's put this away. And I just realized we haven't been checking the book. Could be giving us things. Okay, good. More ruins. Good thing I checked, because now it's going to give me some ruins for free. Indeed, I should be doing these things. Okay, so I need to make a couple reinforced slate. So I will need to filter, new filter, these slates. 1, and 1, and on, and save. And here's the challenge. I have never found an efficient method to use one altar to craft all of these things. Like, this is set to automatically pull out the slates. So if I put in a slate to craft with it, it's immediately going to get pulled out. And no matter what mods are available, that's always a challenge. The only other way that I've seen to do it is set it up in like a tier fashion, where you've got an altar that's like a tier 4 or 5. You tell it, put in your starting block like stone, and let it sit and cook there up through the multiple tiered levels, and then pull out the final result. But there's no easier way to do that. So let's delete that. And let's disable this. Let's dab ourselves repeatedly. Okay. Now, give me some. I think you only need 2 for that. 1. Just 1. Okay. I'll just take 1 for now. Man, that Fallen is nice. I think with the Fallen and a decent ranged weapon, I could probably do Gaia pretty easily. Because even with the purple shit on the ground, that would still keep me healed pretty nicely. But anywho, so Speed Ruins, claim, good. Second, claim, good. I should probably figure out this, because that also helps speed up the stabbing. So Thaumaturge, Razor. I don't know what the difference is between the two, but I can only craft one of them, so this one. So I need 2 Thaumium Ingots, I need Victus, and Precantatio. And to that. Now I don't have any Victus yet. I think I've got my Precantatio. Yes, I do. So what do I have for Victus? I know I have eggs. That's only 1. Let's get a bunch of byproducts. What gives me the most Victus with the least byproducts? Royal Jelly. There's an option. Honeydew is an answer because of the Potentia, but I have a lot of Potentia already. This is the Permutatio, which I need for some other stuff coming up soon, I believe. But the Honeydew is faster. Permutatio, I think, might be the answer. Do I have... I do. Okay, and then I need that stuff. And I even forgot which one it is. Regular old honey drops, okay. So I should start. Yeah, I'm probably gonna wanna cook more. So much of that stuff. Yeah, I'm probably going to want to scan my honey drops. Yeah, let's scan these. Okay. So those aren't really good answers for anything. And I need more labels. I need more labels. All right. And give me some extra just in case. Answer. Let's put you here. And here. And you here. And those need to finish cooking up. That was weird. Is there anything else I should be cooking up while I wait? It's not so bad. Okay. And then it wants me to make one of each of these. God damn it. Alright, this one's easy. I can do that. That is easy. Easy. The other one, not quite so easy. So if I were to do atomic slate, I need 3 stone, I need more Victus, which I'm cooking up right now, and 2 thaumium ingots. Okay. You done yet? You're not done yet. All of this waiting. Wonder if there's a way to speed this process up. Actually, I think there is. If you feed it Alumentum, that speeds up the... I think it speeds up the breakdown process, but not the initial smelting process. But I'm not sure which. It's one of those two. Okay, so you are both done. Good. So, is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Give me a wand. Do thing. That's not what I meant to do. Do thing. Alright, Civil. You have a good night. Thanks for the assistance as always. Hooray. I have a stabby knife. It's a shame this song is so quiet. It's kind of a neat song. Alright, so give me you. Let's see. That's not what I wanted to have go there at all. There we go. And then you. So I've got 3. I've got Precantatio, and I've got my Victus over here, so I should be good to go. And then what needs to go in the center? Oh, ha! Stone goes in the center. Got it. Let's remove this one. It's not a very great radial symmetry. So if I do that, and this, that gives me more radial symmetry. There we go. That's a little better. You go there. You get right-clicked. Yeah, okay. Everything's out of there. Alright. So you can go back in. And ruins. Awesome. So that was not what I wanted to do at all. So I do need two. Why did it tell me to make one if they insisted I have two? Alright, so I need slates, ingots. Do I have ordo ready to go? I have some. I don't have much, but I do have some. So you, and you. And just a stone in the center. Okay, so I've got a lot. Random freeze, and I've got a lot. Stone in the center. And give it a whack. Feel like you're stable enough? You don't have to worry about it? Yeah, looks like we're good. Good, good. Alright, and then I also need to make another Botania version. Okay, we're good there. Okay, we got all of our stuff. And I've got this. Chemistry set. You are made through relatively easy methods. Okay. Did I ever scan that? I did, okay. And then that. And that. Fair enough. That one, sure. Okay, so you thingies don't have anything on you. Go away for now. Deal with you later. Alright. I feel like that is not worth keeping. Is there... There's not. Okay. So new versions of Blood Magic have a visualizer that lets you see what the altar should look like, but this version does not. So let's look up Blood Magic altars. Wow, YouTube, your quality is poop tonight. Let's get rid of some of these tabs, because that's too many tabs. That I want to leave open. Alright, Blood Magic Altar. I just need to see what it looks like quick. Let's see. Okay, so there's a space between those. Got it. I know I need a 24 something space. So before I get too crazy, can I come up with a location where I want this to be? So if I start digging down here, that'll give me a floor to stand on. Let's see. So if I started here and started going down, this is going to be a wide open hole. But I think I can manage that. Okay. So the altar needs to be... What is the size of this thing? 9 tall. Okay. So, do I really want that to be down there? Kinda don't. Kinda do, kinda don't. Tough call. Because, I mean, that's gonna be a moving nightmare. Why is all my redstone getting stuck over there? It's kind of weird. Why, redstone? Why? Is it all of my redstone, or is it just some of it? Because if it's just some of it, I'm okay with that. Let's watch it for just a moment. I need to make sure my redstone doesn't all get lost. Come on, redstone. Grow! Of course, now that I'm watching you. There we go. It's growing in that far corner over there. Okay, so it's not all going in there. That's fine. So it needs to be 9 tall, which means this stairway is going to be beastly long. I mean, the other option is to find an answer to it out here. Like, I could just put the altar here. Could do that. That's not where I wanted to be. I want to be over here. So if I put the altar here-ish, I would probably want a walkway from up here. And if I did a walkway from up here, that would be in the middle of my altar. No, I just have to do a path instead. Move this thing out of the way. Hiccups. That's obnoxious. No, I'm not just letting hunger. There we go. Begins to fade. Oh, so I need to eat more of it. Awesome. Oh, the problem with dealing with dark magic. It's tiring, hungry work. Alright. Well, I don't have it yet. We'll wait. Okay, so, that needs to go away. What does the air sigil do? Ah. Hunger begins to fade. Okay, that's still not great. Begins. So I still need to eat more flesh, apparently. Come on. Why are we not fading yet? Stupid vampy hunger. Alright, if that doesn't cut it, I'm not sure what would. Okay, so if I flatten this ground a little bit, that will give me some room to work with. So let's do that. Let's move you to fast mode and just start plowing the earth. I love this thing, by the way. Then I'm going to have to come in here and fill in that water hole. Alright, so with the water filled, I can use the wand, which makes it a lot easier to work with. And I need the wand on no block. There we go. There we go. Alright, so I need to cut out some more ground. Yeah, I probably should plot out where exactly I want this thing, because I'm just flattening terrain at this point. So I've got plenty of space now to work with. Let's see what kind of space we're looking at. So I need 24 by 24. So if I go over here-ish, start here, and go this way. That's still not nearly enough. So let's start here. "24" is here. So this is 24. And then the other 24 is over here. Like, right there. Yeah, okay. So I need to fill in this water hole as well. Awesome. Actually have enough cracked sand left to do that. Okay. So that's assuming that's where I want that for sure. I mean, it looks roughly centered with the other building, so that's kind of good. This is where there's a measuring tape in 110, which would give me a little bit better idea to work with, because it gives an area space, which is really handy to look at. So let's see what that looks like. That is actually very close to centered. I apparently eyeballed that fairly well. And did that end up 24 by 24? Yeah, okay. So 24 by 24, I am pretty sure is the measurement, but let me check just to be sure. It might be bigger than that now. I hear a friend coming. Hey, buddies. Okay. I don't know why I remember 24 by 24. Because it looks like, from the picture at least, that it's an odd number. So 25 by 25 or something like that. So let's find that entry. Okay, 23 by 23 by 9. Okay. So if I bring this in a hair, that means this can come in. And this can come in. So that should be 23, unless I can't math tonight, which is entirely possible. 23 by 23, okay, good. That puts it actually centered, which is great. I just want to check to make sure. 5, yeah, and this was 5 already, so we are good there. So the question is this still where I want it to be? Because I could still go under. But that feels like that's just going to be a hell of a hike. Whereas the roof of this thing is 23 by 23. Yeah. So let's see. That's 23, and this way is 24. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that would end up going well on the roof. Just look kind of silly. So where is my center? Let's not use that for center. So my center is going to be 13, 11. Yeah, 11. Okay. This looks about right. It's also entirely possible I can't think today. So you're 11, and you are 13, so it needs to be over 1. So this should be 12 by 12. Yeah, okay. Alright. Now, as far as the build goes, it's kind of crazy. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's on the 6th layer. Let me grab some more building blocks to work with. Cobble's easier. Hey, Tori's Kids, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th one is the altar on top. Okay. So let's put that there now. Ooh, that's too fast. Normal. So assuming that this is built right, should be able to plot these things down. There we go. And then if I that. Somehow I don't think that's right. Let me recheck. Ah, that's right. That goes there. And then that goes there. That's right. Okay. Got it. So that is the overall size. Which is kind of crazy, now that you look at it. Alright, so that's 5. Let's grab the rest of the ruins. This is going to be the most hodgepodgey thing ever. And then how tall does that need to be? Yeah, that's right. Okay. I need 5 more ruins. If I remove these, and we need 2 more ruins. Does the book have 2 ruins to give me? Does, technically. Okay. But that requires the altar I'm trying to build, so no. Okay. 2 more ruins it is. Let's make those into sugar ruins just because. Just because I have sugar ruins. I needed that. Alright, and then I also want a different block. So let's do. Oh, sure, let's do abyssal rock for now. Okay, so that should be my tier 3 altar, which it is. Hooray! So let's stab myself repeatedly. What? Why is it going away? Oh, yes. This is the version that has the weird little output buffer. Interesting. Okay. So if you go there, you can go there. Okay, that's right. Hey, Keely. I appreciate stopping by a visit, even if it's just for a brief bit. How you doing tonight? Well, hi, and then goodbye to you too. Items in inventory. Give me a redstone signal. You only work without a redstone signal. Good. Okay. So I need you to go in. New filter. Item stack. Thingy. 1. 1 on save. Okay. So you're doing a thing. You're eating all of that. And then you are in my hand. And the book has given me things for that. Now it wants more things. Okay. This is where it gets to be tricky. That'll do for now. I need to grab food because I am out of food. And I need a couple of those. You go away. Alright, so I want to finish filling in my little hole here. And done. Okay, so my little hole is filled up. I do have my tier 3 altar. However, I do not necessarily think it's ready yet. So give me these back. So you're done. And the other challenge is getting mana over there. Whereas if I built this underground, that's not really any easier transportation of mana. So that's, I don't think that should be a consideration. What I could probably do is build out my mana buffer that I wanted right over here. And then it would be a quick train ride, I suppose, over there for mana. Could do it with bursts too, but train seems more like something I could do. So, for right now, let's put out more ruins here. I do need more ruins, and I need more capacity ruins specifically. And that is with a Magician's Orb, of course. So I did get 2 capacities from a quest reward, but I cannot make them yet. So I need my Magician's Orb. And the only way to accomplish that is through this pane. So let's try it once and see if I can get it to work without much help. What is needed for the Magician's Orb? Block of gold. Easy. So what I will need is this. And I will need that to be on from the start so that I can have as much regen as possible. So let's start it. I think I've got it. Yeah, that should be fairly easy. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. So Magician's Orb is mine now. That means I can make augmented capacity runes, so I don't have to worry about that nonsense again. I want capacity. There we go. That's just a whole bunch of buckets and imbued slates. That I can do. I don't even know how many I want, so let's make some. So you, slate, you need to pull out these. I should have checked how much blood is required. Ah. Did I forget to save that? I think I forgot to save it. New filter. Item stack. Slate. Save. There we go. And the speed is working well. I like this dagger because it works quickly. We're getting there. We are on our last one, good. Okay, so grabbing all these. That gives me 12. And I need 7 ruins per side. So I need a lot more than 12. So maybe I'll make some generic speed ruins as well. Alright, augmented capacity. Probably need more buckets. That gives me the 12, okay. Now let's make a bunch of these. So I've got 12. I've got 2 over there now, so that's 14, so I need 14 more. And then if we turn those all into speed ruins, let's see. Yeah, I think speed ruins are the best way to do it for now. Alright. So I've got enough for the next tier. We need to grab more cobble again. And the next tier requires... crap, whatever that stuff is. It's red. It requires a red. But, let's see... what's next? So let's claim that. So I need to do rituals next. Altar Diviner. Sigil of Holding. Okay. Let's see how much of that is doable. Sigil of Holding. That's easy enough. That gives me Sigil of Blood Lamp. Neat. Okay. Let's go with Altar Diviner, which is this one. And that requires another Blood Altar. Ugh. Okay. That'll be another time. That gives me more ritual stuff, so that can be a different time as well. So I need bloodstone bricks, I believe, which requires that. That requires the ritual, which requires the stuff I was saying I want to do later. Okay, so in that case, pretty much done with blood magic for the night. Let me finish putting these up. Let me get my plan in place. All right, 2, 3. I think that's too many. Or not enough. So that was too many on this side. And then you... that's 7, right? 3, 4, 7, yep, okay. Do that, that. Okay, and then over here we need 4 and then the cap. Okay. 4 and then the cap. Also, I need to stop burning all of my mana. There we go. So, that is ready for the cap once I can make it. let's see what it takes. I don't know how many I was asked to make. I need 2 more. Okay. And then the ritual master thingy. And then I need to make all of the inscription tools. Okay. How much of this can I do without thinking about it? Inscription. Okay, so that's lapis, magma cream, obsidian, gas tier. Magma cream, obsidian, and gas tier. I think it wants me to make a ritual diviner as well. No, it's giving me one. No, it's giving me a ritual dismantler, which means I'm probably gonna have to make one. Okay, so let's put all this stuff over here. So that gives me all of those. And then I need to make the Ritual Diviner, of course. So Ritual Diviner is easy. Easy peasy. Ritual Diviner. Oh dear. And then you want me to make a weak activation crystal. And that is lava crystal. Make me lava buckets. And that's 10,000. Okay, that'll be easy enough. I want me orb back. I don't have 10,000 in there. Now I do. There's my activation crystal and claim. Awesome. Now I need to do... Oh, convenient. I got one of those from a mob. I need to do a binding ritual. So give me my Ritual Diviner. Full Spring, Nether, Green Grove, Interdiction, Containment, Binding. There we go. Okay, now, the Ritual of Binding is something I wish I knew more about. So if I put down said master, it highlights. Hello, Skellington. So it highlights what's coming up. So let's do that. Okay. That looked good, I think. I should be able to activate it. Let's see what my network looks like. Not much. So let's do that. Oh dear. Stomach gurgles strangely. That means I'm having thaumaria coming soon. Let's get healed up a little bit. I do not remember how much I need in my network for this. Does it tell me? No, it does not tell me, which means I need to look it up. So I have Magician's Blood Orb, which can hold 150, so I'm going to be sitting here for a little while doing that. Large Bloodstone Bricks, which require weak Blood Shards, which require a Balanced Sword, which requires Ritual Binding. And that requires 5,000 LP, so I'm actually well over now. So give me that back. So let's see about binding this thing. Feel pull, but too weak to push further. Okay. Does that require the better activation crystal? I would hope not, because that's a decent amount of alchemy needed. Interesting. Did I finish the ritual? Requires more in my network. Just guessing at this point. No, it claims weak activation crystal is the right one. I'll tell you what, it's time to go to bed, and I don't think anyone else is actually watching right now. But if you are, I appreciate sticking around with me tonight, and we'll figure out more of this blood magic stuff later. I may still decide to move it underground, so we will see. But for right now, I'm going to bed. See you next time. Bye!